Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Row Report. I am your Row 2IC, and we're going to do another acronym. Um, I don't know why I love doing these acronyms and prepper phrases and things like that. I seem to get one or two trolls that tell me they're stupid and quit wasting my time. Usually I get pretty decent feedback, and I have a few people that are really big fans of them. So if you're one of those people that enjoys it, likes it, is a big fan, here you go. Here's another one. If you're a troll, oh well, here's another one. So this one is going to be PACE with a P. That is P.A.C.E. PACE. Now I will pause for a second as I take in this absolutely wonderful scenery. Let's see if you can see. Can you see that blue sky back here? That's awesome. All right, PACE. What's it stand for? That is primary, alternate, contingency, emergency. Now, throwing that all out there with no context to somebody that is new in the prep during world atmosphere, whatever, um, that could be overwhelming, confusing, anything along those lines. So, give me a minute here. Let me break this down for you as best as I can, and my humble opinions on this. So, this basically is how you formulate your plan, and really how you kind of do a lot of things. So let's take it as let's take it as let's say self-defense. Let's have some fun with this and see if maybe somebody gets a little angry about it, or I get a YouTube strike. All right, so self-defense. What is your primary self-defense? Okay, now I'm not going to push the envelope too hard on this because I don't want to get kicked off, but let's say it is your favorite scary dark colored projectile yeeting device. All right, you got your primary covered. Hopefully, it is not still in the box. Hopefully, it's something that you hands-on utilize. You understand the ins and outs. You are proficient. You have sent said projectiles downrange. You are comfortable in putting in, taking out, all that. That is why it is your primary. So what's the rest of it mean? Okay, what happens if something happens to your primary? It gets broken, damaged, you run out of said projectiles, something in it breaks, whatever. Pick your reason. Now comes your alternative. What's your alternative? What's your alternate self-defense tool? Okay. Well, I have this one-handed projectile launching piece of equipment that is beside my arm. Hopefully that came out right. So your sidearm. Okay. Hopefully you are proficient with it. You've used it, all the same things as your primary. You chose it as your alternate because it is a smaller projectile launching device, but it is still, you're comfortable with it. It'll get the job done. Great. Okay, and that kind of covers the prepping basic. Two is one and one is none. If you have one, if you have a primary and a primary only and something happens, you have none. If you have a primary and an alternate and something happens to your primary, then two becomes one because something happened to that one, so you still are left with one. But let's take this a lot further. So, primary goes, secondary goes. You are out of said projectiles for both self-defense tools. What's your contingency? Okay. For me, that contingency would be, my bow. Um, Hopefully, you would be proficient in it. Maybe you're not quite as comfortable with it, but you're working on it. Maybe you're relatively new to it, but um, maybe it's because of how big it is. Maybe It's because you can't carry that many projectiles, whatever it is that makes it to where that is not your alternate or your primary, that makes it your contingency. But there you go. Now you have three. You have a primary, you have an alternate, you have a contingency. Okay. What's your emergency? Ones if all three go down. What's your absolute last bottom dollar? I mean, you can look over and see the baseball bat or something like that. Hey, this is my everything has gone down, and I am just reaching for something. And you can use that for everything. Take it through all aspects of prepping. SHTF has happened. The stuff's hit the fan. Take it with water. Where's your primary source of water? Well, I have a well. Okay, cool. What happens if your well runs dry or your pump breaks or whatever? What's your alternate? Well, I have a swimming pool or a pond or something. Cool. What happens when that becomes really dirty from animals dying in it, or it dries up, or becomes contaminated or whatever? What's your contingency? Well, I've got some rain catchment barrels and some other means and things like that. Cool. What's your emergency? And you can take this for everything. You can take it through food. You can take it through medical. You can take it through shelter, fire starting, whatever you want to do. Figure out what's your primary, what's your alternate, what's your contingency, and what's your emergency. So if you're new to prepping, welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me on the fun acronyms of the prepping world. But take it, write down P.A.C.E, write down what they mean so you don't forget it, or come back and rewatch my video, and go through each aspect of prepping and write it down. And focus on what is your primary for each one. Cover primary first on everything. Get your primary done. You need one thing in each one. I don't care if you have 50 different ways to start a fire or way to protect yourself. If you don't have medical, you're kind of defeating the purpose. You need to cover first base on everything. Then, after you do that, then you can go back through your entire list and find an alternate and keep going. And you can do this with skills, and you can do this with everything from the way that you're going to cook, different ways to tie a knot, catch food. You can use this however you want. It's a really good acronym to learn. It's a really good tool to utilize in your tool bag to help you prepare better. I hope it helps you. So, with that, do all the fun YouTube things. Do the like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification. That way you will not miss all the fun content that I put out. As another plane goes by, check us out over on Facebook. And with that, I'll remind you, and hopefully you can hear me, to remain united. We're all prepping in this together.